Whoa, welcome back, everybody. That break wasn't long enough because, man, like, we've only had one game. We had crazy action, crazy circles. 15 minutes in, 11 minutes in, we'd lost 3 teams. 15 minutes in, it felt like we'd only gone 5 minutes into the game.
Like, the second we took off our microphones, we just looked at each other and we were like, that was insane.
Yeah, what a game. What a game. Just to kind of obviously go back, you had Inside Games. If you've just joined us, welcome, everybody. 27 points for Inside Games. Dominating performance. Quick Math got 9 points. PG18 got 12. And I do want to point out, Unity, they got an 11-point game. So they had a really solid result. We look at the overall standings. PG18 holding on to that top spot, but Inside Games
Moved up to second.
They moved up to second. I said it might happen. And Unity, they moved up. Actually, yeah, Unity have moved up to 4th. They started in 7th.
Yeah, well, they came in today at 5th.
Was it 5th?
Yeah, they came in today at 5th, and they have now moved on up to that 4th place spot. Either way, they've done better for themselves, and Airstation might going to be forced down a little bit. ELGIGANTEN actually made it back into their 6th place spot, which they did lose the other day. But yeah, Airstation might still, they've had
The reason why I said Unity were 7th instead of 5th is because you had Unity, Tornado, Erangel, and LGIG on the same points. That's my defense. That's my defense.
Yeah.
And I took the information from my data sheet.
Valid.
So both
valid.
Both valid. Because
Right.
I was really
We'll shake hands
confused. I
on
was
it.
like, yep, that's fine.
There we go.
Anyway, this is game 2. We have another Erangel game. The circle is fairly kind of central from the east to the west. Other than maybe one
Circle, we haven't had one of those yet. I mean, the trajectory.
There you go, the plane trajectory. It's getting too much. I'm getting
brain fried from how the wattage of the last
the wattage.
the wattage, yeah, your power output.
40 or 60 watts. What? Anyway, I'm sorry. So obviously, Primorsk is out of action for YMCA, so they land straight away onto between Milta Power and Milta. Very wise. 3D Max is going to go to Jazza on their own. Inside Games are going to go to Lipovka. Tempest, they're going to kind of head in around that kind of high ground area between Inside Games and YMCA. And we're going to see teams, Milky Way, they're switching up. Not going to StarLadder this time. They've gone down to South George. By the way, if you're ELGIGANTEN, you must be a little bit frustrated because you don't know if Milky Way are going to go to South George or not. So it's kind of like, do we have George all to ourselves, or do we have to go up north, or what's it? You know what I mean?
I mean, the thing that Milky Way are going to have on their side now is they could make a coastal rotation down to Primorsk now because of where this circle is, which feasibly we could end up with the same circle.
No,
as last
going
time.
to mainland, okay?
I mean,
going to mainland.
You know, when you look at the percentages, the likelihood is but we could, in theory, end up with that same circle, although we don't have anybody on the military island right now, so they're going to be...
Theory, I can win the lottery, but that isn't going to happen.
Yeah, but you're not statistically likely to.
I mean, yeah, if I played a lot, I'm statistically... Well, not statistically, but I'm not statistically unlikely to. Actually, yeah, I probably am.
Yeah, you are.
Shut up.
What?
Leave me alone. Okay, you're right. Sorry, Gio. I'm not good at maths. But Tornado Energy, Dave Milta, Alton themselves. On a serious note, you are actually right. And we had no teams drop in Military Island. Unity, they normally head to Novo. They decided against it. They've gone up to Zarki. They're playing a different strategy, a different route, and a different kind of port of call, so to speak. And I'm wondering, will BetterLuckNxTime, Airstation Mike, maybe Tornado Energy head to Military Island for this Phase 1 circle?
Be interesting to see. I mean, Airstation Mike do look kind of like they're moving a little bit westwards rather than... going down towards the bridge, especially as Tornado Energy, we see Alia actually sitting there sort of at the entrance to that bridge. So if they were planning to do that, then it's going to have to be the other bridge they want to use. And I think at this point, like, there's just not that point in investing your time to rotate to Military Island when you don't have any reason to believe that that is where the circle is going to end up. Instead, they're sort of moving in between BetterLuckNxTime and Team Moops that could be some easy kills for them.
It could be. Phase 1 circle is still quite big, still quite wide. Plenty of space for these teams to find rough locations that they want to hold on to. the rotation's starting to pull on through. Surprisingly, PG18, they're still in a 1-1-1-1 split. You kind of have 2 members to the north of Gatka. You have 2 members to the south of Gatka, but they are generally split up, and that it doesn't worry me, right? But with the circle in their favor and with the teams mostly going to rotate, there is a chance that if they don't go together sooner rather than later, that they could lose 1 or 2 members early on.
Definitely a risk that they do face. Yeah, I mean, you know, Tornado Energy, they've joined onto this rotation club now. They're not going to sit there by that bridge. Everyone's kind of trying to move a little bit into the center. And, you know, there is all this empty space down in the southwest. You know, a lot of them aren't going to know that. But it's still somewhere that they could potentially end up rotating to. But already we're starting to see a little bit of action happen between PG18 and Team Moops. I swear these 2 teams always end up finding each other. Like, relatively early.
Yeah, in the last game they did go at each other, but Team Moops were down the south. I think it was that phase 5 or phase 6.
Yeah.
And now we do see, the teams are rotating. Milky Way, they're making their way down the west coast. When you're looking at the likes of Quarry, you can hold on to either the north or the south side of Quarry, but anywhere else you tend not to go near, and that could be an option for one of these teams in the first couple of phases if it stays heavily in the area of Quarry. Especially because for now, at least, nobody is anywhere near that location. So it'd be kind of good to grab that spot early on. And it means that if phase 2 shifts away from it, you're less likely to have teams around you to get into a more prominent position. But as these teams are rotating down, you have 3D Max up in the north, last crew up above them. Jokers, they're making their way across the river.
Well, Jokers is actually who I have my eye on, because Jokers typically, so they did go up to Savannah, which is where they like to go to, but typically they wait a little bit longer before making their downwards rotation and actually kind of wait for that first circle to occur and move down in, you know, maybe phase 2, phase 3, something like that. But actually they're making quite an early rotation here, you know, compared to what they would usually do.
And now we see the church area is going to be pushed between Northern Lights and Quick Map. And Salenzo on top of the church connecting, but no OK Bro was taken out. The grenade by Northern Lights connects and takes down Jubesig. Pelsage is just trying to find the shots on the Spiro. Not quite getting it done, but it's just a bit of an even trade between these 2 teams. If the revive can come out on the degree, which is not going to lie unlikely at this stage, it will put Northern Lights in a more advantageous position in this squad fight. But I think Northern Lights might be looking to disengage as a 3-man team, as Pelsage does connect onto Spyro. So that's going to go back to kind of 2-on-2 fight. What is it about the last day of the week for these teams? We saw it last week when I was casting with James. The teams just kind of went full ham against each other in the last day. And we're seeing it already because 3D Max joining in on the fun that rotated from south takes that kill away from Quick Math. That's going to put Quick Math on a bit more of a red alert play, and they're going to be just careful of where they're positioning themselves as a 2-man team.
Yeah, we did actually see Northern Lights take some shots towards 3D Max, but it doesn't look like they're really kind of committing to that. Instead, just kind of staying where they are. Last crew know where they are, but right now, taking a look at what InsideGames are doing. They actually have quite a lot of space to themselves, although Tempest, they're moving down south towards them, so they could end up in some fights with them potentially. Well, actually, look, because they're moving up now, so they're really all kind of combined in that same place. But now we're also seeing BetterLuckNxTime and Tornado Energy go in on each other. Example's going to throw in this nade. But Artix is holding on to one as well, so likely to see some of that. Although say that and Alia goes down. That was a great nade, and one also landing back on Alia. Compot's going to finish that off onto Artix as well. So certainly not working out in favor of BetterLuckNxTime in this case. So
it's a 1-for-1 trade, but the bad thing for Tornado Energy is Example is on his own because Kizik and Fate do have him surrounded. Grenade pops through, puts Example down to about 25 health. He's going to prone down behind that vehicle, look to heal himself up, maybe get into that vehicle and join the rest of his Tornado Energy team, or at least Compot, because Melman is actually split away a little bit further from Compot. So Tornado Energy, the rotation and their kind of positioning as a four-man team. It's not really working out right now because another grenade by Fate. It does connect onto Example, and that's going to be another kill for Better Luck next time. I'm going to put Tornado Energy down to 2 players as a rotation from Melman. Kizik sees it, going to try and fire a couple of shots off.
Okay, now we've got our next circle coming online. So it is mostly based in the mainland there. There we go. It actually cuts off Everest, though, so we're not going to end up seeing a repeat of what we had at the end of last week. But yeah, no military island this time. But now seeing InsideGames start to move on in this similar compound to where YMCA are. Some nades already straight away coming out. And of course, if you get caught in them in the buildings, that could be dangerous. In the meantime, Moops getting in an altercation with ELGIGANTEN, but this fight is going on. Pixelic's going to be falling down.
And now Odstrelovac behind that building, down the side of it. Zampula inside it, looking for Odstrelovac, looking for those headshots, peeking through, not quite working out for InsideGames for now. They played on the aggressive, but Kajudi, kill confirmed, gonna make it a 3-on-3s. Turbo Banani on top inside that building. Gonna fire a grenade over. Zampeek, he's just trying to get away, see if he can get revived up. Seniks, Odstrelovac, they're there. I don't know if it's even worth trying to go for the grenade. seniks trying to find that great position on the edge of that windowsill. And it doesn't quite, as Odstrelovac does get the chance to get the revive on Zampeek. All the while, Turbo Banani did get knocked down. So now, InsideGames, they could turn it around. We see Odstrelovac is there, Zampeek is there. The smoke grenade to provide cover for InsideGames did work out. Now it's a bit of a standoff.
If they can take advantage of the fact that Sampula is now trying to heal up Turbo Banani, then that'd be great. And we actually see Odstrelovac moving forward to see if maybe he can do that. But looks like some of that health is going to be regained. But because YMCA are the ones in this building, they could end up being vulnerable. Just got to make sure InsideGames that they get the right angle on. And Zampeek and seniks are going to be waiting behind, ready to see what the intel is from Odstrelovac.
Oh, now Odstrelovac making use of that new ledge grab. That dynamic. There you go. Nice word. That these players can now use to get on the top of the roof. It could provide confusion for YMCA from an angle of position overall. I don't think it's the best angle, but what he can do is he can actually go on the other side of the house and provide that pinch for the rest of his team and possibly take down YMCA. Gotta say, YMCA, they've done well to hold on to that building, but now the action is unfolding on the rest of this map as Last Crew there on the north side. Just above Pachinki, you have Northern Lights there inside Pachinki, and these teams just rotating, finding the angle, finding the compound that they want to hold on to.
They have some eyes onto Tempest, who are moving down through ruins. Actually, back at Odstrelovac, just dancing around on this roof. And I mean, you kind of said it before, there is that potential for the pinch, but the fact is the pressure is onto YMCA that is going to prevent them from wanting to move out their building. They're kind of trapped.
They kind of are, but like I said, it seems like it's just a standoff for now. Both teams might actually hold out until this next phase does pop up, wherever it does shift onto. Joker's there on the west side of the circle, just below Gaka. You have Milky Way. They gone close to Quarry, but when it shifted up north, they went to the west of it. And then PG-18, they're just above or just ahead of Milky Way, looking in their direction. But the circle shifts down south. You have that one compound that Better Luck next time, they're going to get in that vehicle and drive to. If they have the wise choice, that could be something that they can do. Because if you look around them, there's a lot of fields and there's not that many kind of compounds or that super high ground that one of these teams can kind of hold on to. Milky Way, they are going to stay in that compound on the west side because it's going to stay quite nicely for them to possibly pinch a couple of teams rotating down from the north.
And quite characteristically, we're seeing Airstation might move down towards actually very close to where BetterLuckNxTime are. They like to make those early rotations. The hope for them is that whether they can win out these fights early to ensure that they survive a little bit longer. They haven't been having the best of weeks. Keeping a couple of their members up north, but now back to where Inside Gaming are. They're really just trying to set up this attack onto YMCA. And, you know, YMCA want one of these teams that did fall overnight. They went down to 9th. So they're going to be looking for that extra survival, for those extra kills. One thing that they have needed to improve on is confirming those kills. In the meantime, Reggie Beardo is not going to be having a very good day, as Noki does manage to get a shot onto him. Like Tempest.
They're rotating down on the west outside the circle, going past Jokers. They're also going to go past Milky Way. I really like that rotation from them. Last crew are following suit behind Tempest. Can the vehicle survive? It's going to be put on smoke. It's going to really put Tempest under pressure. It gets blown up, connects on the handy, but the other member of Tempest that wasn't the vehicle, that was yours, will stay alive for now, is facing pressure from the blue zone. But now we kick off things a little bit more heavily in this fight between InsideGames and YMCA. Zampeek peeking through, looking for the pre-fire, not quite connecting. The grenade by Sampula to try and push them away. Is it going to connect? It does, but YMCA, they're able to do a lot of damage on the InsideGames. However, did both teams did not survive. They took each other out. What a play from YMCA in the end. I thought they would have survived, but that grenade in that last dying moments by YMCA got that job done. Both teams go out. We're down to 13 teams.
Huge. And in the same time, Unity and 3D Max were sort of doing something similar. We saw a lot of nades come out from them. And now this fight is ensuing between Airstation Mike and Team Moops. It looked like Airstation Mike were getting some of the value in that. And now Phantom going to be knocked down by KnorkiS. So we are seeing a lot of these teams start to move in on one another, even though actually, you know, the circle's still pretty big at this point.
And what's really kind of interesting is because YMCA and InsideGames took each other out, there is a good bit of space on this on this kind of northwest side of the circle that the teams
Southwest. That is indeed the Southwest.
Southwest, there you go. Oh my God, my trajectory. It was pretty open. I'm having a mare of a day when it comes to directions and mathematics. Oh my Lord, the excitement is just getting a bit too much. So, but we did see that there was a bit of space, but the issue is that there's a lot of open field in that area where their Northern Lights are heading onto. So it's going to be very tough for them. We see Better Luck Next Time. They see Perfectix. He's in that vehicle. Instantly Better Luck Next Time spots it. Jazza and the other member of Airstation Mike that was on the north side, outside the circle. Airstation Mike going for a 2-2 split. I do like that from Airstation Mike. They're surviving longer. They look a little bit better in this game. Looking a bit more like the old Airstation Mike that we've seen in the previous weeks.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. But meanwhile, Milky Way starting to receive some fire. They're going to try and hold off Jokers, who do sit at the bottom of that hill that they are now stationed on. So actually, Jokers not really looking like they want to engage too much in that fight, or rather want to get better positioned before they attempt to take it on. They are still a full squad. They're actually just getting in vehicles now, and they're going to make a rotation around. The
boom was connected onto by Man, so great job by Milky Way. You have ELGIG, they're rotating down from the north. They're going to head right into the path of PG-18. Team Oops are to the east of where PG-18 are. They're making their way through, and they're going to be pinched between themselves and Tornado Energy. So as these teams rotate from the north, you have 3D Max there. Outside the circle, Quick Math there outside the circle. A couple of these teams are down to 1 or 2 players already.
I'm just seeing a lot of these teams try and move in towards the circle, but in the meantime, DP is going to get some shots on to set and knock him down. And this is where that problem comes out for Jokers, because they all have to try and rush in if they want to help, if they want to provide that assistance, where all these different angles are coming onto them. Offstring's actually going to be confirming that. And that's where we see Milky Way. They actually have these, positions where they can watch each other's backs and ensure they're adding on that extra assistance. And that now means that Jokers, they've got to decide what it is they're going to do. There are only 3 men right now. Currently, DeBoom's trying to land some shots, but they're just trying to decide what angle they want to go for. In the meantime, PG-18, ELGIGANTEN. Now, PG-18 are in a good spot here because they're holding onto this, albeit small, compound, where it's just basically a house and an outhouse right now, but that will give them some cover that will be especially needed when getting involved in such a close-range fight. Yeah, I love the fact that they're going a little bit forward, trying to push Marcelek back, because they have the dip of the hill, so they can throw those grenades out if they want to. They can push ELGIGANTEN back. What I like about ELGIG's position is they have a 2-2 split, so Marcelek and KnorkiS?
KnorkiS are in the front line, and then you have the other 2 members down the back line. Morpheus does get connected on. The positive for ELGIG, but the negative is that they don't have maybe enough of a flank around, and it's putting them under more pressure. Marcelek has been connected onto with a great nade that came out from Recrent. Now 2 members of ELGIG knocked down. The good thing is that they have the smoke, so the revive could come through. They're being put under pressure by this blue zone closing, and so it's just every single chance for PG18 to push on through. They're going to look on the kill feed, see if they can get the better of ELGIG, see if they can put them under even more pressure, as TAB actually joins in on the fun from the west side of this map and connects onto Marcelek.
Well, that next circle has now come up, but in the meantime, this fight still ensues between ELGIGANTEN and PG18. Constant trades right now. We did see a team get eliminated, so now we are just down to 12 as Recrent is the last one to fall. And Milky Way actually already making their rotation into the circle. They don't want to be hanging around too long. Hawkey's going to fall to Melman, so that's going to be the last of Team Moops.
Yep.
And now Tornado Energy, they're going to be looking to move in, and it really has focused in on this area where you have this low farmland, and that's going to make it very high pressure for the teams that are already there.
Yeah, definitely. What I like about Jokers is that they were popping shots off in both the direction of PG18 up north and the direction Milky Way down south. So they are covering a lot of space, a lot of angles, and now Solar connects on to Recrent of PG18. You only have Ubica and the Wanderer that's left standing for PG18. Now Solar down to 21, 24 health, gets taken out. 3D Max eliminated in 11th place. But it's not over yet for PG18. They're getting in that vehicle. They're gonna have to rotate down south into the circle. The compound that Tornado Energy held on to is outside the circle, so they're gonna have to make their way down south, find that comfortable position, and all the while, better luck next time. They are in prime position.
They are in prime position with that compound, but it's not going to be all, sunshines and smiles for that long. But right now, they are getting involved in this altercation, bringing Jappy down, which is, a pretty good player to be bringing down. AK Skills is going to be following on behind. And actually, Kizik really showing up for BetterLuckNxTime right now. They're showing that they're not going to give up this compound that easily, annihilating Last Crew, who go out in 9th.
Yeah, BetterLuckNxTime just singing, never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Warehouse, and they put the aggression onto Last Crew. Not quite the breach that Last Crew wanted. They go out in 9th place. We're down to 8 teams, 20 players. When you look at who's looking pretty strong, Airstation Mike, they're in the center circle. They joined up as a 4-man team. You have Tempest there to the left of them. You have Milky Way to the west of Tempest. You then have BetterLuckNxTime, who we saw get the better of Last Crew. They're down south. Tornado Energy, they made their way to the northeast side of the circle. And Jokers and PG18, they're on the northwest side.
Now, a lot of smokes being invested by PG18 here now. They actually get straight away eliminated, so it doesn't really matter all that much, but it just wasn't really an ideal position. They did have to move down from that stronghold they were in. And now the map going even more central. We really are just narrowing down onto these fields, but that does mean that BetterLuckNxTime, they're going to have to relinquish that compound that they do have because it's not going to be in the circle anymore.
True. Now, this is where it comes down to utility, right? How many smoke grenades have they got? How many frag grenades have they got? When you're looking at Compa, he's got 3 and 3. That's not bad, but is it going to be enough? Melman has 4, so that makes 7 between them. That does give them a strong chance to make a comfortable smoke road, but it's still not going to be easy because they have so many teams looking in their direction. You look at Perfectix of Northern Lights, tracking what Tornado Energy are doing. Compa getting in that vehicle, going into that circle, but Melman connects onto Perfectix, not holding all the angles. Where was Deep? He was not covering Perfectix at all, and they pay the price, but Melman gets knocked down by Tab. All the while, Milky Way does connect onto, I believe it was Joker's Moon, but Kizik does confirm that kill onto Melman, leaving Compa on his own. And now 2 members of Jokers taken down behind that little shack. Milky Way, they were put under pressure by Jokers earlier on, but now they return fire, just leaving the boom, the only one that is left standing. Too far away to try and get those revives.
Yeah, that is certainly going to be a shame there for the rest of Jokers. And actually, Hugstar's trying to take advantage of the situation rather than just letting them die by their own means. They may as well get in some of those kill points. And actually, I like how Airstation might, they've parked these vehicles up so they do have a little bit of that cover. But in the meantime, Compo, he's going to be ending Moon. So that does mean that literally just Daboom's going to be left for Jokers. Out in this field on his own, bit lonely.
Also, Milky Way got the 2 knockdowns and the kills were stolen away by 2 other teams. It's got to feel bad, man. But 7 teams, 15 players. Airstation might have a full team. BetterLuckNxTime have 3. Milky Way have 3. Tempest have 2. Tornado has 1. Northern Lights have 1. Jokers have 1. Nope, Jokers don't have any because Jokers get eliminated in 7th.
Now, just Airstation Mike, they're looking around, see who's going to be their best target. Milky Way are going to be having some nades thrown towards them, so Offstream's going to be moving forward, relying on those smokes to give him somewhat of cover. But Wookie Bookie, in fact, all of Tempest, they're really not very far away, right in that small little room just there, blowing up that vehicle. It's not quite going to get the members of Tempest, but now they're going to start landing in those shots, but it doesn't matter. Wookie Bookie's going to be going down to DP, and now straight up, pure annihilated Tempest. Off the map, and Milky Way, they can move forward somewhat. And actually, they're going to be the only team in that circle right now. Yeah,
so the circle shifted. Fate from BetterLuckNxTime. Fate takes out Fake. That's a little bit kind of a play on words right there. So it's going to be BetterLuckNxTime getting that first knock on the Airstation Mike. Now, BetterLuckNxTime, they are far more outside the circle than Airstation Mike is. So to get that first knockdown, even though the revive did come through, was positive for BetterLuckNxTime. But Airstation Mike, they're still a full squad. They're actually the only full squad left in this game, but it's out in the open. They've got to spread themselves out. They need to find the angles and the positions where they can cover each other while one member is prone down, another member pops the shots off while they're peeking, but Kizik pops on through, gets Jazza, Fake gets ToWzErA. Airstation might put under so much pressure in between those smokes. It's BetterLuckNxTime being aggressive. Hugstar connects onto Kizik, Fake, Faultlessly, and the Fate and Faultlessly, what can you guys do as Faultlessly takes down Hugstar, leaving just Fake left standing behind that vehicle. It is blown up. And Jazza does get connect on confirmed, and Fate, they're looking so strong. BetterLuckNxTime, they have 10 kills. They take down the majority of Airstation Mike, leaving Fake left standing. And that really just, well, BetterLuckNxTime, they're going to be falling, actually, as Fake manages to turn things around. But you could tell how much pressure was in that fight because of the number of members who had to rely on lying prone in the wheat fields, especially after those vehicles got blown up. And there just wasn't really anywhere for them to hide. But now, you saw in the picture there, Deep, he's left on his own on his team. He's trying to decide where he's going to go. Again, he's another one of these players who's lying prone in the wheat field, just trying to crawl along. He's heading up towards where Comport of Tornado Energy is, but at the very least for him, he's moving away from Fake, from where Milky Way are, as they have the most number of players in a squad right now with 2. 4 teams and 5 players. Yeah. Man, that's tough. It's going to be a prone game. It's going to most likely come down to the last circle. Who's gonna go out of the prone position first? It's like a crawl for your life kind of type deal. But now I zoom, he's taking a look. He has an idea of where Fake is. He's just got to try and shoot through that smoke. Nade actually goes in as well, but it doesn't get close enough to Fake to really do much. That's where I'd like to see some of these players throw out dummy smoke grenades. So what you do is you throw a smoke grenade in one direction and you move in the opposite direction. Because the teams the reason why Milky Way have an idea that somebody's there is because the smoke grenades have been thrown out. So the common sense is you throw a grenade in that direction because there's most likely somebody there. Might not connect. So if you see somebody like Compa, if he wants to throw a smoke grenade in one direction, you prone down, you move in the opposite direction, it's going to dupe the teams around you just that little bit. It's like when you're a kid and you play that game where you go and knock on your neighbor's doors and run away. The hell? Was that not a thing in Ireland? Hey, Nick, is it called knick-knacking or something like that? No, it's not.
All right, well, we do have the next circle. And, you know, Milky Way, they're sitting fairly comfortably in it. It's just so interesting right now. We're seeing Compo relying on this random rock to, you know, try and give him some cover. It is outside the circle, so he's going to have to move in. I think that's why he's throwing in those smoke grenades, so he can at least have a chance of moving somewhat forward. But there's just not much cover here. Milky Way, they've got a good situation where they do not only have one another to look after each other, but they do have, you know, that, you know, the Jeep, the little hut that they can hide behind. The issue is going to be if someone manages to get a nade into that hut, that could be bye-bye for Milky Way.
And part of the reason why they're not spreading out is because I don't think they're confident of the kill feed being accurate for them in terms of knowing that there's 3 other teams with single members left. So when you look at that there's 5 players left, their thought process could be, okay, it could be 3 teams, but 2 teams left, 2 other teams left, and one of them could have 2 players, so it's not maybe worth us splitting up. But fEJK finds deep, gonna get a kill point, but iZoom instantly connects onto fEJK. Now we're down to 2 teams. Comp up for Tornado Energy, 2 members of Milky Way. The grenades are gonna be thrown out. Comp, he is inside it. He's gonna prone his way down. It's gonna be very tough. We've seen Tornado Energy pull out so many stops in these games. Can he make it a 1 against 2 successfully? It's gonna be very tough because DP and iZoom, they've looked pretty damn good in this game so far. And with that grenade, Milky Way get the chicken dinner.
All it required. And Milky Way needed that chicken dinner. They really did. They've had a tough week. They fell down to 11th. They weren't confirming their kills. They were losing players early. And now they finally managed to make it all the way to the end, get that chicken dinner, be able to move up onto those opposing teams, land those necessary kills, and potentially give themselves some of those much needed points that they require if they are to try and keep themselves in this competition.
Yeah, of course. And that final couple of phase circles where it's just dead in the open, the field's just kind of dominating the players and where they were able to go. It was so tough. Got to give credit to BetterLuckNxTime. I know they got taken out by Airstation Mike in the end, but how aggressively they looked against Airstation Mike was impressive to me. I know they're able to frag out. We know that, but still,
KnorkiS was doing great. And Erangel's not their game.
And Erangel is not their map, so to get into the top 6 teams, I think it was, they finished in 6, get a bunch of kills. It was really impressive for them, especially considering where they are in the table.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it was also great for Airstation Mike that they made it that far. They've obviously had some hard times recently, and they, you know, were the last team to make it as 4 players, I believe. They were the last team to have a full squad, but that's where BetterLuckNxTime came in and pushed them out. Like, so you got to say, if Airstation Mike hadn't have come across BetterLuckNxTime, or if they had have, let's say, gotten the better of them earlier on, it could have been a completely different story because Airstation Mike would have been able to spread out a bit more effectively. You could have had them going on a 2-2 split and push Milky Way back a bit more. But it was what it was. It didn't go their way. They still had a strong game. And considering when they've gone the last 2 days of getting 6 points and 7 points respectively, it was still a good start, a better game for them. It was great. And I just think it was really interesting seeing the difference in this Erangel game compared to the last one, because this one, it got to a point at the end where because there wasn't really much terrain that people could use, they had to rely on their utilities like the smokes. Yeah, they couldn't do that. And a lot of the teams ended up as just 2 or 1 people left at the end where you can't... A lot of the gameplay and a lot of the strategy they had to use at the end is not how you generally go into a game of PUBG with, because they were in a complete situation where you don't have those things available to you that you would in most games of PUBG.
Survival mode activated.
Literally. So they had to rely on, okay, careful proning, you know, predicting where others were in the wheat fields so that they could try and throw good grenades. And that's a really interesting thing to see because it shows people having to use a kind of strategizing that they're not usually forced to use because they usually have different utilities, different resources at their disposal. And I think that made it really interesting to see how these teams fared in those situations. And especially when we had teams like Northern Lights who still came, really high up in those standings in this particular game. Deep was the last to go down and they were still able to make that work. And it just goes to show, actually, this is a team that, maybe this is the start of something really good for them.
Yeah, of course. Then we look at the results of that last game. Match 31 out of 48. Last crew getting 0 points. The only team to do so. 3 other teams above them getting 1 point. LGIG with 3. PG18 with 3. YMCA with 4th, as well as Tempest with 3. So, not bad overall. But then when you look at the standings, 4 teams getting double digits. Milky Way with 17. Energy with, Tornado Energy with 15. BetterLuckNxTime with 13. And Airstation, Mike, we talked about it. Good, strong game, 11 points.
Yeah, no, it was something that they really needed. Now, having a look at these players, Compop from Tornado Energy leading the leaderboard, and he was the last one of Tornado Energy who was left over. He's a really strong player, so it kind of just got to that point where it was a 2-on-1. They predicted where he was with those grenades. Not much you can do in those situations, but he still actually ends up coming out on top, drawn for first place with Kissick from BetterLuckNxTime, who, it felt like he was in the kill feed the whole game.
BetterLuckNxTime, I honestly, I love their aggression. If they can just kind of, not necessarily tone it down, but
need to
maybe
hone it in.
You hone it in and just kind of
sharpen it,
and just that kind of thing. Like when you get a piece of coal and you turn it into
the damage exactly the same for DP and Kissick.
Wow.
No, it's not often you see that.
No, it's not often you see that. Just 571, 5 kills, 571, 3 kills. Really, really good second game. It was kind of a good bit calmer compared to the first game. So personally, I like that a bit more. We're able to pick up on the rotations a bit better, and a really good result for these teams. But we still have 3 more games for you guys. Erangel is over and done with. We are going to be shifting over to Miramar for 2 games, and of course ending the day on Sandhawk. So don't go away. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes.